Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Star Trek Voyager, Season 6, Episode 13, Virtuoso. So, I wouldn't say this was a good episode, but it's not necessarily a bad episode either. It's kind of par. You get exactly what you expect out of it by the time you get to the end. The thing that really stands out in this episode and makes it worth watching is Robert Picardo singing and the Paul Williams cameo role. So from the very beginning, the crew encounter this species, and that's way technologically more advanced than we are. And they don't want to help. They're injured, but they don't want help from the doctor because they think of holograms as primitive. And so they talk very slowly to the doctor, and it's very, insulting. But Janeway's like, sorry, this is the best we got. And so, as the doctor's helping them, he starts singing, which they've established the doctor likes to sing. That's nothing new. But that scene felt super forced for me, where he just starts randomly singing The Railroad. And it's okay, out of everything, why? And, all they need is a quick hypo spray, so I feel like the doctor would have just, helped them and pushed them out. He would have just started doing this weird singing concert thing. It was just really awkward. So after this, the entire race of people just become enamored with the doctor because they've never heard singing, and so they just want concerts and all sorts of stuff from him, which Paul Williams makes an appearance in this episode, who's a terrific singer-songwriter, actor, everything. For me, just because I'm that type of a nerd, the thing that stands out the most is actually the voice of the Penguin from Batman the Animated Series, which is now the third villain we've seen after Michael and Sarah and David Warner. Now we get Paul Williams in there. So anyways, there's kind of a great scene where 7 of 9 declares red alert because the race is trying to bombard Voyager and take up their communication, and it turns out that it's all just fan mail for the doctor. And so as we start watching this, you can actually, at this point, you know where this episode's going to go. Where the doctor wants to resign his commission and wants to just stay on this planet and sing for forever. And Janeway's like, no. And the doctor basically pulls almost like the race card. He's like, this is because I'm equipment. And Janeway's like, no, this is because you're our doctor and we need you. And the doctor comes back with, well, if Harry Kim went on an away mission and fell in love with a woman and wanted to resign and spend his life with her, you'd let him do it. And that's not true, because we've actually seen that episode in, I think it was the disease one, the weird STD episode, where Harry, fell in love with a woman, and that was the whole episode where he had sex without the captain's permission. And so, that was just a weird line to come from the doctor. And so, overall, she finally does say yes, and when the doctor goes down there to say, hey, I'm going to live here forever, they're like, oh, look, we've replaced you because you're just a hologram, and this one can actually sing better. And so now the doctor has to go back to Janeway and apologize, and she even says, oh, your coattails are now between your legs. And so, overall, it wasn't a terrible episode, but it wasn't a great episode. If you just want to hear Robert Picardo sing, this is the perfect episode, because he's badass in this episode, because he has a terrific singing voice. The whole plot is just kind of mediocre. For those who have seen this one, what did you guys think? Go ahead, let me know, and I will see you guys next time for Memorial.